Get the Heavenly Realm Healing MP3 at JasonJGallant.ca.
So someone recently commented underneath one of my videos, and she said she's making new friends, and what she's realized is a lot of people are really cruel, and she asked me how can she go about not taking this cruelty so seriously. The first and quickest way to not take anything seriously is to not think about it. That's the first way. That's why there's all these different spiritual practices that are involved in non-thinking. You know, when you're doing the breathing techniques like the pranayama, you're meditating, you're letting go of all these opinions. Because half the opinions you're letting go of aren't even your own. They're opinions that were told to you, and then you're weighing whether you should believe them, whether you shouldn't believe them, all that sort of thing. You know, that game is going on of whether this opinion is practical or not, whether you should make changes in your life based on that opinion. But the quickest way out of that game is to just not even give it weight, not even give it time, not even give it any of your attention. Right? You just let it go. So if you find that you're not letting opinions go, especially the opinions that are causing you suffering, the opinions that are causing you needless pain, okay, if you're not letting them go, you have to realize that you are making a choice not to let them go. You see, you have this kind of power. Human beings have an incredible amount of power, and what they usually do is use that power against themselves. So when you realize that you actually have the power to create suffering or freedom in any one moment, you just have to know which decision you're making that's supporting your suffering and then do the opposite. Right? So if someone tells you something cruel, or if they say something that makes you feel a certain way, find where you are making the decision to believe that. Find out where you are making the decision to concentrate on that negativity and concentrate on just pushing that away. You're just spending time pushing away shadows. The best thing to do is just forget about it. Just forget. Just be here, just let it go. Let go of the entire game of having to change that person's opinion. Because changing somebody's opinion is not going to change your internal reality. There are a million people in the world that like me or don't like me, but those opinions have nothing to do with my own freedom. So micromanaging the opinions of other people is not going to lead you to freedom. Letting go of your own opinion, that will lead you to freedom, but not micromanaging the opinions of others. You see, so once you realize that you're just wasting your energy and trying to convince, then you stop doing it because you realize it's just futile. It's a futile game. And on the spiritual journey, what you are doing is you are becoming more impeccable to how you use your energy. And you don't waste your energy so much in games that are not fun for you. You can play games if they're fun, but if they're not fun for you, then you just let them go. If they're not blissful or rewarding or happy or fulfilling in some way, you just let them go. So don't waste your energy on changing the opinion of the world. So many people stay in horrible relationships where they are abused or where they're mistreated. And the reason why they stay is because someday they have this hope that they will change that person's opinion of them. They will change that person so that person treats them well again. And somehow they feel that this is a victory. But I guarantee you that same human being, once they have achieved victory and convinced this abuser to love them again or to treat them well, they will now turn this internal cynic to something else and say, oh, I've got to convince that now. I've got to convince that person to like me. I've got to convince this body of people to like me or to accept me. So it's the same misconception that changing the external will change your internal. Right? So don't look so deeply on the outside. Don't say, oh, I must change this or micromanage this on the outside. Go inward. And most likely when you find happiness in here, when you let go of this game outside, then the outside will change. You'll actually move to a new territory. You won't put up with abuse. You won't put up with being mistreated or judged or treated unfairly, you know, whatever it might be, because you're already free. So you're like, freedom doesn't need to go into some sort of bondage. You know, if I'm already happy, I won't seek out suffering, you know? But what a lot of people that are suffering do is that they seek out more suffering, thinking that somehow if they keep on revisiting suffering that they'll prevent it. It's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. It's like by seeking out more suffering that somehow you'll be free of suffering, and and it just keeps on going on and on until you get bored of that game and then you let it all go. So just quit playing the game. Now, another way you can look at this situation is if you see people as cruel, you have to realize that cruelty is all about perspective. It's all about point of view. To a bird, a cat is cruel. To a tree, the wind can be cruel. Ultimately, this reality we're in is a place of cruelty. There is a lot of realities of life that go on that we are forced to be one with, we are forced to accept. Isn't death the worst cruelty? One day you die and then I guarantee you will see that as cruel. It's an experience of cruelty. Not everybody dies so peacefully. Sometimes it's a painful process too. But ultimately, when you accept that there is no such thing as perfection according to what you think, there's only, are you willing to accept or push away? Accept or reject this reality. When you realize the rejection of this reality creates suffering inside you, you stop rejecting, you stop judging, you stop measuring. You do what is needed to support this body. You are in alignment with the forces of survival, but at the same time, you stop measuring and creating emotional pain based on some sort of ideals of self-preservation. So if you are suffering, let go of the opinions that are supporting it. And when you let go of the opinions that are supporting the suffering, new choices and new wisdom will emerge. Sometimes it will take you into different places in your life. Sometimes it will guide you to a new place, new relationships. It will open you up to receiving more of the universe. And that receptivity will bring you new relationships, new circumstances, new opportunities for growth. So don't look backwards, just keep being here. So I hope this helps. Take care for now.